You scroll through Reddit for your daily dose of memes, news, and cat videos, right? And Reddit prides itself on being a platform by the people, for the people. But what happens when people have very dark ideas? Is your favorite online community harboring a dangerous secret? Watch this video to learn the truth about Reddit, which they won't tell you. Reddit, pronounced as Reddit, is an American social media platform known for its social news aggregation, content rating, and forum-style discussions. As of 2024, Reddit ranks as the 17th most visited website globally and the 4th most popular social network. Most of its traffic, around 48.98%, originates from the United States, followed by the United Kingdom at 7.06% and Canada at 6.9%. But besides all this, there's something really toxic and dark about this amazingly famous site. Let's begin with the story of how it all started and went on. Growing up, Alexis Ohanian had a tough time. Bullies picked on him for his weight and even his name, but he found his escape in the late 90s with dial-up internet. He got into programming, even building charity websites, while a teenager chilling in his parents' basement. When he headed to the University of Virginia to study computer science, he met Steve Huffman, another self-taught coder. They hit it off, bonding over video games and becoming tight buds. However, Alexis felt he was lagging behind his peers in terms of coding skills. He worried he'd let his family down, having invested so much in his education. So he decided to switch gears and pursue a law career, thinking it might be a safer bet. He spent hours cramming for the law school entrance exam, picturing a dull life as a lawyer. But when the test day came, he couldn't shake the feeling that law wasn't his jam. In a moment of boldness, he walked out in the middle of the exam and headed straight for a Waffle House. Over breakfast, he had an epiphany. He didn't want to be stuck in a stuffy legal office. He wanted to be his boss, making something cool that he cared about. Meanwhile, Steve had been brewing up a business idea. While Alexis was sweating over law books, Steve dreamed of a way to let people order food from their phones. He imagined himself at a gas station, wishing to order a sub from his phone while he pumped gas. When Steve shared his idea with Alexis, he was all in. They called it My Mobile Menu, or MMM for short. In 2004, they teamed up and spent their last year of college working on their startup dream. But it wasn't smooth sailing. They had to figure out how to make their mobile food ordering idea work in a world without smartphones or app stores. And when they pitched it to restaurants, many didn't get it. Some didn't even have websites. Their idea of ordering food through a mobile device was way ahead of its time in many ways, but regardless, Alexis and Steve found themselves hitting roadblocks. They had their sights set on Paul Graham, a renowned entrepreneur giving a lecture at Harvard titled How to Start a Startup. Paul was a big deal in the startup world, especially among programmers like Steve, who was even reading one of Paul's books. But Alexis saw more than just a chance to get a book signed. He saw an opportunity to get some valuable advice for their business. After Paul's lecture, they approached him and asked him if they could grab a drink and pick his brain about their startup. Impressed by their initiative, Paul agreed to meet them for coffee and listen to their pitch for My Mobile Menu. To their surprise, Paul actually liked their idea, seeing it as a solution to the eternal problem of waiting in line for food. Feeling encouraged, Alexis and Steve returned home with a newfound sense of confidence. And just a few weeks later, they received even better news. Paul told them about a new initiative he was launching called Y Combinator, an accelerator program offering funding and mentorship to startups. However, their confidence took a hit when they were rejected after the pitch. The investors were skeptical about their ability to build a mobile food ordering tool with the technology available at the time. They also had doubts about Alexis and Steve's connections in the restaurant industry. Feeling defeated, Alexis and Steve headed home, feeling like their dream was slipping away. Paul offered them a chance to be part of Y Combinator under one condition. They had to develop a better idea. Little did they know that the next idea would change everything. With their mobile food ordering idea put on hold, Alexis and Steve took Paul Graham's advice to heart. Focus on building something for web browsers, something that could solve a problem people faced every day. In 2005, the internet was buzzing with content from various sources, but there was no efficient way to gather it all in one place. Alexis and Steve saw an opportunity to create a platform where users could post and vote on content, creating a community-driven front page of the internet. After brainstorming various names, they settled on Reddit, a name easily rolled off the tongue and hinted at its purpose. I read it on Reddit. Armed with $12,000 in funding from Y Combinator, Alexis and Steve dove headfirst into building Reddit. They worked tirelessly, often sacrificing sleep and social outings to bring their vision to life. However, they faced a harsh reality check when Paul Graham nudged them to launch a beta version of Reddit. With a basic version live, they suddenly faced the challenge of attracting users. Desperate to kickstart Reddit's growth, Alexis and Steve resorted to creating fake accounts and posting content to make the platform appear active. Slowly but surely, their efforts paid off as real users began to discover and contribute to Reddit. As the user base grew, so did the need for organization. Alexis pushed for tagging content, but Steve believed in creating separate communities, or subreddits, for different topics. This marked the birth of subreddits, which became the cornerstone of Reddit's structure. With the introduction of subreddits, Reddit became a hub for diverse communities to come together and share content. From science to politics, users could find their niche within the vast landscape of Reddit. At just 18 years old, Aaron Swartz was already making waves in the programming world. Backed by Y Combinator, he was the brains behind Infogamy, a company focused on web development tools. However, despite Aaron's talent, Infogamy hit a rough patch. The product hadn't gone online, leaving Aaron without funds, shelters, or partners. But fate had other plans. On Aaron's 19th birthday, Paul Graham swooped in with a proposition: merge Infogamy with Reddit. Recognizing Aaron's potential, Paul saw an opportunity for him to contribute to Reddit's development. Thus, in late 2005, Reddit and Infogamy joined forces under the banner of Not a Bug Incorporated. Aaron's eccentricities, such as his peculiar eating habits and unorthodox sleeping arrangements, were overshadowed by his invaluable programming skills. Alexis, Steve, and Aaron propelled Reddit forward, introducing features like comments and the Karma system, which encouraged high-quality contributions. On Halloween night of 2006, the acquisition was finalized. The founders became overnight millionaires, but their journey with Reddit was far from over. They remained at the helm, now under the ownership of Condé Nast, with promises of autonomy and resources to fuel Reddit's growth. As Alexis and Steve and the Reddit crew hustled to make Reddit the internet's go-to spot, Aaron Swartz had different vibes about where things should be headed. He saw Reddit as a platform for people to challenge the big guys, so he didn't feel it when a corporate giant bought it out. The office life didn't sit well with him, and he wasn't shy about it. Eventually, his clashes with management got him the boot in January 2007. But even without Aaron, Reddit kept on evolving. They realized users needed more say, so they let anyone create their own little corner of Reddit with subreddits. Suddenly, there were communities for everything, from the most niche hobbies to the latest memes. As Reddit's user base ballooned to over 2 million by 2008, making money off all that traffic proved trickier than expected. Ads were still a no-go, with users crying foul. So, despite its popularity, Reddit was still struggling to turn a profit, scratching its head over how to cash in without ticking off its users. Behind the scenes, things were getting rocky between Alexis and Steve. Personal stuff and differences in running the show led to tension, and they eventually both bounced in 2009, leaving Reddit without its OG leaders for the first time. In 2011, Congress introduced the Stop Online Piracy Act, or SOPA, aiming to make platforms like Reddit responsible for all the content users post. This meant Reddit could be sued over anything users shared, which could spell disaster for the site, given its millions of users and small staff. Reddit fought back, along with other big names like Google and Wikipedia, saying SOPA would wreck the internet as we know it. Eventually, Congress backed down, thanks to the massive public outcry. Aaron Swartz, who had become a champion of internet freedom after leaving Reddit, played a big role in this fight. However, Aaron's story took a tragic turn when he was arrested for downloading academic journals from MIT. He believed knowledge should be free, but his actions landed him in serious legal trouble. Facing a lengthy prison sentence, Aaron struggled with depression and sadly he took his own life at just 26 years old. The news of Aaron's death shook the internet, with tributes pouring in from all corners. Aaron's family remembered him as someone who used his skills to improve the world despite the controversies surrounding his actions. Though he was removed from Reddit's co-founder page after his death, many users still saw him as a hero for fighting for internet freedom. In 2012, Yishan Wang took over as Reddit's CEO, steering the site through its explosive growth. But with growth came challenges, like distributing communities on the platform. Reddit's anonymous nature made it a breeding ground for unsavory content, leading to serious controversies. One such incident occurred after the Boston Marathon bombings, when Reddit users wrongly accused an innocent man of being involved. The ordeal highlighted Reddit's struggle to balance free speech with preventing harm, sparking debates about the site's moderation policies. Ellen Pao, known for her gender discrimination lawsuit, took over as CEO in a bid to clean up Reddit's image. With stricter rules and anti-harassment policies, Reddit hoped to avoid controversy under her leadership. Alexis Ohanian, one of Reddit's founders, also returned to the company around this time, adding to hopes for a smoother ride ahead. However, the challenges of moderating a platform as vast and diverse as Reddit were far from over. Ellen Pao's attempt to tidy up Reddit stirred up quite a commotion. While some folk nodded along with her efforts to tackle harassment and offensive content, others weren't too happy, calling foul on what they saw as censorship, especially when Ellen declared that Reddit wasn't exactly a completely free speech platform. Then came the bombshell. She let go of Victoria Taylor, a Reddit rock star known for orchestrating those epic Ask Me Anything sessions. In 2016, Steve landed himself in hot water when he played around with comments criticizing him on a subreddit called The Donald. That didn't sit well with Redditors, who felt like Steve had broken their trust. Things got even messier in April 2023 when Reddit dropped a bomb. They would start charging for access to their API, the tool that let other apps tap into Reddit's data. Developers and moderators weren't having it, so they staged a massive blackout, shutting down thousands of subreddits in protest. That's all for today's video. Has your perspective about Reddit changed now? Let us know in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe. See ya!